Okay, Cassie, we're going to talk about a couple of things today based off our lesson here from just the other day. First thing, though, that I want to say is that we've done a really tremendous job here in the past couple of months of making great strides in our swing. Um, what I've noticed from this video right off the bat is that our hands are already, a little bit more separated from our body, which is good. We're not so close in, so that's going to give ourselves room to swing. Another thing that's good is that our lead arm right here is not barring near as much. I'll play a couple of swings here so that way we can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. If you notice that lead arm's not barring out at all, which is good. That's pretty much where we want to be in terms of our angle with our arm. There's just a few things though that we'll kind of toy around with and kind of switch up, and right now mainly I'm going to go over pretty much 4 or 5 main points right now, along with your swing, that we're going to kind of touch base on, and I'll break it down here in a few to where you'll be able to see exactly what we're talking about, and then this way you guys can get an idea of what our plan of attack is from here on out. Our main issue right now is that our swing is just entirely too stiff. We're just kind of robotic right now. You'll remember during our lessons we were kind of trying to get you for the past couple of weeks try to be a little bit more loose with everything. And what's going to happen here, I'm going to put in slow motion, and we're going to get from our stance to our negative motion, and I want you guys just to see how the body kind of moves everything back. It's moving back the hands and everything. And what we want the hands to be able to do at this point, we want the hands to be able to move independently from the body. Meaning we don't want the body to be what's moving, or our shoulders to be what's moving our hands. We want our hands to be able to move everything to this point. So that's something that we're really going to have to work on a little bit, because the load pretty much sets the tone for the rest of the swing. By using a proper load, the better timing we have back there, the easier we're going to adjust the pitches, because pretty much when we get to our load, there's really only one variable, and that's the speed of the pitches that we see. But if our load is inconsistent from pitch to pitch, we basically add on 2 variables, because we're throwing off our timing along with the pitcher trying to throw our timing off. So that's really something that we're going to have to really take a look at, is just getting our hands to kind of work a little bit more independently from our body. Since our load is a little too stiff and our hands aren't really working independently from our body, it's actually causing our timing for the entire swing to be off from the get-go. I want to illustrate it from this point. We'll notice if we're watching the front foot right now, so we can see we're loading up and our stride's beginning. But now I want you to kind of watch what the hands start doing, especially the bat angle. We lose the bat angle early, but the hands have already initiated the swing. As we can see, the hands are already starting to move. And if we notice, we're still up in the air right now. So pretty much we haven't, all of our force and all of our weight is still on this back side, yet we're still trying to make the hands go forward when we simply haven't made the force go from our back side to our front side. Which really, in hitting, what you want to do, we got to move back before we could go forward. So we're already back. Now this is when we got to get this foot planted down before we can initiate anything. And right after the toe touch, I'm going to bring us to toe touch, and right here our toes on the ground now. Our hands have already started moving forward, and our heel isn't on the ground yet. Now ideally, when our heel hits the ground, that's called our heel plant. That's what really begins to initiate the movement of our hips. But what happens is the beginning of our swing, it's the back elbow collapsing that really starts to get everything thinking, okay, I got to go forward, I got to get everything moving forward. So right now our swing's just a little out of sync, and we'll see that right now we're finally at heel plant. The elbow's already into the side at heel plant. Now I'm going to bring up a couple examples that kind of shows that we want to kind of already still have that bat, not kind of have it back, but we still want the bat to be back at that time. The heel plant is what allows us to get the hips just really going after that, because that's when we're getting ready to brace. So Ideally, we still want that bat to be up, so we're just starting just a little bit early, and we'll work on that some more also.